Yeah, because I put a set of tools on the.
Good morning, and welcome to the 5.5 Legs Virtual Cigar Lounge here at Go Cigar in Ocean Springs, cold Mississippi.
Yeah,
It's not too bad.
it's a bit chilly.
Well,
Not like it was the last couple of days.
good morning, my co-host Mort, Bones,
Hey,
and I am Maverick, welcoming you to the show. It's almost Christmas time.
it is. You got all your Christmas gifts.
We got more fucking Christmas decorations up this year than we've ever had before.
You got kids coming.
Exactly. I mean, the whole outside front's done. The fucking porch is done. She's got fucking gnomes and Grinch shit all over the fucking living room and the tree. And
Yeah, I don't care.
it's just, I mean, I love it. I'm
Bob.
excited. 2 days.
Have you decorated your yard yet?
Michelle handles that
So I'm going to assume that's a no.
for me, yes.
Yeah.
But she's doing it this weekend, putting the tree up, the wreaths, all the stuff outside. She handles that. I don't do
Okay.
that. I just say it looks nice.
Since you said that, good question. What's your thoughts on when the tree goes up?
Whenever the wife puts it up.
But a lot of folks say, "Oh, don't put it up before Thanksgiving, Christmas second before Thanksgiving." Don't
We usually put the decorations up
right
after Thanksgiving.
Right.
You
Yeah.
give it you give it roughly a month
Usually,
while they're up.
the rule of thumb is like that Friday after Thanksgiving when
Yeah.
everybody's off.
Yeah.
That's when you dig all that crap out of the attic.
And you start putting it up.
Yeah.
And
It don't go in the attic here.
you take it day to day after January 1st.
Oh, I take it down the day after Christmas.
We take ours down after January 1st.
Oh,
So-
after January 1st. Yeah, not
Yeah.
right on the 1st.
No, right after the 1st.
You just be too hungover on the 1st to take anything.
Today's show, folks,
Not
we're
me.
going to be smoking the Karen Berger, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Which
And-
got a 92 on the Cigar Journal and 93, I think, in Stogie Press.
Okay, I was going to say
For
Stogie
Connecticut.
Rose. And we're going to be drinking our last carafe full of Buckeye Blend, courtesy of Mandy at up in Finlay, Ohio.
Maybe a quarter pot left.
And maybe
Maybe half.
You can mix it with something.
Jacob.
Good morning, Jacob.
Jacob.
You filthy animal.
I'm playing golf this afternoon. The wife is going on a girls' thing tonight. I need dinner. I want the number 2. I think he's making some kind of stuffed Cajun burrito or something like that.
That should be delicious.
Yeah, he makes
He does this thing good.
Yeah, 'cause
I haven't had it in a while, but Jacob, you do a good job.
All right, what do we got? We got a boring ass football game last night.
Oh, terrible.
Oh, speaking of which, one of San Francisco's players decided, nah, I
I'm
don't wanna
not playing it.
I don't
Yeah,
wanna
we
play.
seen that. Me and Bones were watching that on ESPN today.
Something to do with it said 2 of the other players got hurt, and then he just said, "I'm not doing it."
I just don't want to play.
Yeah, they went to send him in, and he says, "I'm not playing."
You know what I would do if I were the owner?
Kick him off the fucking team.
Yeah.
I would
Without
say,
pay.
clean out your locker.
Yes.
A lasagna burrito. That's what he's meant. Lasagna burrito.
Clean out your locker. You're no longer part of the team.
You know what? I think that's a little harsh
What? Kick
What,
him off
firing
the
him?
team?
from the team.
No.
But wait a minute. Let me say my piece. But he definitely gets suspended for the rest of the year with no pay.
Well, dude, there's only 4 games left. 3 games left.
Well, that's a lot of money probably.
And they're
to
not
him.
going postseason because
Well, I know, but that's a lot of money to him. You know what I mean?
I don't know how much money that would be.
Whatever it is, it's a lot because he don't probably make the big money. So let's say he makes $500,000. Well,
he probably
he
more
makes
than that.
150,000
Even-
less.
Even
that suffers from him and his family.
So let me ask you, if you were a business owner
Yes.
and you had an employee that said, I just don't feel like
Well, then
coming
you're
in.
firing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Same-
understand what you're
same
saying.
thing.
I understand what you're saying, but
you hurt
we don't know all the particulars except that he absolutely did the wrong thing.
There's absolutely no.
He hurt the team, he hurt his players, and he hurt the ownership.
We had a player that was injured that he had to fill in for.
Yeah,
So the coach already had him in mind, put him in.
yeah.
I don't want to play.
Well, you know what? Now that you really think, I rethought that. Kick him.
Well, they did this.
Kick him.
Well,
You know what? You're right. Kick him.
Look at what they did to the folks that decided to, who was it, Dallas or one of the teams, Pittsburgh? Somebody said, "You kneel, you're out." Boom, you're gone.
Yeah, I don't know whether that was actual truth
But-
or not, but
You're getting paid to play to do your job.
yes.
You're getting
Yes.
paid good fucking money to do your job.
Right.
And you say, I don't want to do it?
So I equate
Well, then
that.
I find somebody else to do it.
You guys already know I worked out in the missile field when I was in the Air Force. The ICBMs.
Okay.
We had a lot of protests against those sites up in Montana.
Right.
And I mean, at the time, there was this movie that was put out the day after, and it made everything look terrible.
That came out right a month after I joined the Air Force.
I mean, so
Scared the shit out
all
me.
of that put a lot of fear into people. So they were protesting. They were calling us baby killers and everything else. I mean, it was pretty bad. And somebody asked me one time. He says, "So what's your thoughts on nuclear missiles?" And I said, my opinion doesn't matter.
Right.
He says, "Well, why not?" And I said,
Doing my
"Because
job.
I have a job to do. Is to keep those things from getting into the hands of the people that shouldn't have them.
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
That's my entire thing, right?
Right.
If I failed to do that job, it could have been catastrophic.
Right.
Could have been. I'm just
Yeah. In general.
just speculating that.
Sure.
The guys that kneeled, okay, I get it. They were standing on their convictions. But you know what? When you're on the job, your convictions don't matter.
That's
I
right.
agree 100%.
I agree with you.
Your convictions matter not at all.
Right.
And what the NFL is doing, they're still shoving this down people's throats. In the end zone, they've got, love is love, and all this
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah. It
They're
shouldn't
still,
be.
they're
On
still
helmets
jamming
and
that
that's-
down.
And it shouldn't be.
That's going to change.
It's becoming disturbing for me.
Right.
I'm not upset. Don't get me wrong. Is that the culture that they want? If that's the culture they want, then Rock, when you bring that football league back, I'm watching your stuff and not his.
Right. I understand what you're saying. Yes. And I don't want it on the helmets. I don't want it on the jersey, because then you're putting your beliefs on me,
Right. So
and I have to share something I may not want to share.
the three of us are employees here at the cigar shop.
Yes.
No, I'm not an employee.
Okay.
I fill in occasionally.
I get your point. Yeah.
Okay. If we had somebody come in and say, hey, look, I want to buy a box of Perdomo. I can't sell you a box
Yeah,
of
because I
Perdomo.
don't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah. we're
Because I
gone.
don't like them.
Yeah, we're
you know.
gone. Yeah. Right. You're making a valid point. I'm gone.
As you should be, because your personal opinion doesn't matter. We all have had customers come in and ask, well, what do you think about this cigar?
Right.
Hey, not my favorite. However, I know people that do like it.
Yes. That's what you say.
This doesn't fit my palate. But
Yeah. Say you just say I know people that enjoy it. It's not my favorite, but people enjoy it. I'd give it a try and see if you like it.
Yep. See if you like it.
Right.
If you don't,
Now, you're not a Yankee fan. You're not a Yankee fan. I'm a Yankee fan. Mikey Silvers is a Yankee
you
fan.
got him silenced, by the way.
Yes.
I have a very hard time, and not just because we lost them, but that contract that Soto signed. 764 million for
12 years or 10 years or whatever.
16 years,
16, 13
something.
years, something.
Hey,
17 in
look,
the teens.
It's Perdomo Sam.
Yeah,
Demo Sam, Patrick Morrison,
We
getting
can't wait to
down.
have that event, Sam.
that's just too much fucking money.
It's the going rate.
Dude, I don't care. I don't.
How much
care.
is too much, Barry?
Dude, that's too much.
Bones, how much is too much?
You're going with the going rate. Now the next
They can't
Bones,
live on $30 million a year.
Bones, it's going to. Yeah, sure they can.
All
But why
right,
wouldn't
so
they if they could get 50?
well, that's what I'm saying. They're pricing me and you out of being able.
They've
to
already
eas-
done that.
They already
easily
done
go
that.
to these fucking.
They
games.
they already done that for us
And-
to have good seats
and
and enjoy it.
the
We're
big-
out of the game.
And the big thing about him is okay, and I'm equating it to all right, he got 765 for 17 years. The Yankees offered him 760 for 16 years. They offered him $5 million left.
Here's the thing: it ain't the $5 million. He didn't probably want to be there no more.
And that's fine. If that's his choice. That's his choice. But I'm looking at it as a fan. I'm saying we offered this guy $760 million. He said no to that. And his counterpart, Judge, who's got less playing years available. Judge has signed a 9-year contract. And he's 30-something years old. So we might get 9 years out of him versus Soto's 25 and he signed for 16, 17 years. But I'm looking at, okay, Judge, who's a much better player than Soto, in my opinion, signed for equating less money. If you take 18-year, whatever
it is,
he stayed. Okay?
So what are you upset about? Are you upset about the fact that he left?
It's the money. It's the
or
money.
that he took the money.
The money.
So you would have been okay if he would have stayed and took the $5 million less.
I wouldn't have paid that kind of money, but that's what the owner's going to pay.
But you would have been okay with that, right?
As a fan,
sure you would have.
I would like to see him stay, but would I be okay with spending that kind of money? Because then that screws a lot of other things up. So what you're really saying is you're just upset he left. No,
that's what I'm picking up.
No, it's all about the fucking money.
But you just said you would have been okay with him staying if he'd have taken $5 million less.
I guess you don't get the fucking point.
I do.
Why do you?
I know the point.
Why do
We've
you
already
leave,
talked about
Why do you leave for $5 million more?
It ain't the money.
Okay, to him, it's got to be the money.
No, it's not $5 million. Not when you're making that kind of dough. It's he didn't want to be a Yankee no more.
Well, then fucking say that.
That's why he left. Well, I guess they can't in a way.
Yeah, they can.
He didn't leave for the money.
You don't burn your bridges when you leave a job.
He's a free. They ain't gonna take him back. He's gonna go. I mean, it's over.
Mort,
he's gone.
It wasn't about the money. It was about he didn't want to be a Yankee no more. And since they offered him, it's the going rate.
And as a professional, he didn't say, "I don't want to be a Yankee anymore."
Right. Yeah. Right.
Well,
he didn't want to diss his team that he's presently on. He just said, "I don't want to." And taking the money, he just said, "I didn't want to be a Yankee no more." It wasn't about $5 million.
Maybe if he
went,
when
you're making $700 million, $5 million is nothing.
Maybe if he went to them for the same amount we offered, I don't know. I'm just upset the fact that it's the money. I can if he stayed, he stayed. If he left, he left. I'm indifferent. I would love to have kept him, but if he leaves, he leaves. I just think that's too much money to pay somebody to fucking play baseball.
The ship has already left the dock. We cannot afford good seats in a.
No. And you know what? Here's the other thing. I'll bring it back. We'll step back a number of years. Reggie White, when he left the Eagles and went to Green Bay, it was because of the money. It had nothing to do with anything else. He was a preacher. He says, "I don't believe in that. I'm not leaving for the money." But that's exactly why he left.
They all leave.
I think he left because he knew the only way to get a ring at that time wasn't.
But it was definitely for the money because they offered him a lot more than the Eagles did.
Now, are the Mets going to get a ring this year or anytime?
Maybe they were in the playoffs and they did a little run. Okay. It's definitely going to enhance their team.
Okay.
So they have a chance.
Maybe he sees that as an opportunity to be part of that core group that brings the ring.
But now the Yankees are courting and signing fucking players to come to their team that are leaving good teams for good money, and then they're coming here for equal what they had because they see the possibility of winning the championship with the Yankees.
And that's
but the Yankees have always done that. They've always paid for the team.
Yes,
I understand that. What I'm trying to say is I don't agree with the money. Whether my team is paying to buy people or not, I don't agree with it.
You don't care about anybody getting that kind
of
no,
but you worth that kind of money.
You weren't protesting the Yankees when they were paying to stack the team. You weren't saying I'm no longer a fan because they're paying too much money.
I'm not going to not be a fan of my team. I don't have to agree with what they're spending. I don't like what they're doing. If that's what they're doing, I'm not going to stop rooting on my team because the team decides to spend a ton of money. I just don't think it's right.
I used to agree with that, but I say it's the going rate, and that's what they're going to pay.
Well,
they weren't going to offer them anything less because that would have been forced, and there would have been no discussion at all. But I think it's the going rate, and that's what you get.
I could be absolutely wrong in saying the fact that, okay, he's going to the Mets, right? Now he doesn't have Judge hitting behind him. Sammy, we are smoking the Karen Berger, Connecticut.
But I think, what Bones is saying, all these players, whether it's football, our main thing is football and baseball. We're not concerned about hockey, except we watch it during the playoffs. But football and baseball, they're giving them so much dough, and it's just unbelievable. How can anybody give somebody that much money? But who it affects, it don't affect the owners. It affects us three. Who like to go to sporting events, who don't want to sit in nosebleed seats, but Matt, we can't go.
We already know that we've been priced out years ago.
Yes. We can go to maybe one game.
Yeah, and you're going to pay $1,000 for 4 people to go.
Yeah, where it's a treat.
But even if you can go to the game in the bleachers, whatever, hot dogs are getting, everything's just getting, $17 for a beer and $12 for a hot dog.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just not.
And that's what you're saying is true. It's all about the money is correct.
And it's not just the one sport. I don't think okay, if you guys follow anything, Lionel Messier, soccer player for Miami, right?
Dude, he makes
I think his contract is 4 years for like $600 and something million.
Yes. The soccer player that they give the soccer player because the country or whatever loves him so much, they give him so much dough. It's just like way more than baseball and football.
Well, that's not one player, $600 million for 4 years.
Yeah, I know.
So what he brings to that team is FaceTime notoriety,
excitement,
and his stuff sells, which makes it team money.
Yes.
You and I aren't going to see a game like that.
Matt, it doesn't matter. I can care less who pays the salary. It's the fact that he's getting $600 million for 4 years. That's a ton of dough. And so if the whole league pays the salary, then everybody suffers.
Absolutely.
Because the league is going to say, all right, it's going to cost you more to do this now.
But we can sit on a lower level for one game. It's almost like spending money on a little vacation. You're taking your wife, even if it's just you and your wife, if she's a football fan or a baseball fan, it's almost a $500 day.
Can maybe afford a college game, and then
depends on which team it is.
And then you get, instead of going for us to Destin or wherever or Gulf Shores or whatever like that, for a weekend we can go to one game.
I'm going to the beach instead.
I'm going to Destin because you know why? Because especially if we go to a team, and then here's the thing too. Oh, we lost. That brings it into a suck thing. That sucked, man. I spent all that money for that.
I could get a week in a condo for less than it would take for my spouse and my wife and I to go to a football game.
And with all the particulars.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Every week.
Yeah.
Morning, I assume the Great Lakes Great Cigar and Pipe Show is Ronnie Pecorini, I assume.
Doesn't matter.
Say yes or no, but they are online. Welcome back.
I agree, Patrick.
Yes, the entire league might benefit, like the WNBA, this and that, but still, it's just.
Well, you know what? Here we go. We're talking about
heads.
salaries. They gave whatever she was making $200,000 or $300,000, Caitlin Clark, because of her endorsements. Now she's making $20 million a year.
Mm.
Should they pay her that? Her endorsements are what's actually paying.
Yeah, but you know what?
To play,
but she's going to be next year the highest paid basketball player.
So she is right now.
What brought her to notoriety?
Well,
Angela, the girl from
the battle between her and
Angela Reese.
That's right.
And it's a shame to say, but it's a white-black thing too.
Oh, you know it is. It
not
is
on
bad to say.
Not on Caitlin's part of it.
No. On either one of them, I'm just saying.
Joe, what's going on?
Hey, Joey.
Another one from the Great Lakes.
But you know what?
He's the
That's
guy.
a white-black battle thing. And since she's so great and she's the fair white girl coming into the league was prominently black and dominating, it's a white-black thing.
I hate to think that, but unfortunately in today's polarized world,
you're right. I'm right.
It's correct.
Oh, it always is. It boils down to that or money.
So for the panel,
yes.
How many years from today do you think it's going to be before we see a professional ball player? I'll just say it that way: professional ball player, athlete, get $1 billion contract.
Oh,
$1 billion contract.
I don't. I think it's a few years away. Just a few short years.
Any sport.
I said professional athlete.
I say probably within the next less than 5 years.
I agree with Bones on that.
$1 billion.
3 to 5
$1 billion.
years. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, think about it. This guy got a contract for almost $800 million.
Yes.
That's $200 million less than $1 billion.
That's exactly right. And I think we're closer than we're saying.
Patrick thinks it's going to be 2 years.
I think I agree with Patrick.
I'm
going to
go with the under. I'm going to go with
the under also. And you know what? You're going to go, geez. Now there's so many other things we could be saying about. Man, you can't spend you can, but you can't spend that much money.
When is the last
There's
time?
athletes that blew $350 million, $400 million. They blew it.
When is the last time that you've been to a professional football game?
About 2 years.
And how much did it cost you?
Oh man, it was very expensive.
Loaded, right?
Yeah, very expensive. The tickets
Years.
were
years.
It was $225 to sit on the lower level.
See that? Yeah.
For one game. Just me.
You can't get into the stadium now for less than $100.
No. Oh no. If you park in a stadium, it's $100.
I'm not even talking about parking.
Yeah, right.
I'm talking about getting into the stadium.
Because you know what? The fans are crazy, especially with the tailgating. They're a little drinking, so they don't care about sitting up in nosebleeds. They're watching it on the screen.
Yeah.
They're watching it really based on that. They want to be there. They want to have the home atmosphere. They want all that. But if you wanted to enjoy the game and see it pretty good,
you got to be at either the 100 level or 200.
Yeah, and you're talking about for two is 500
or on the couch.
That's a lot of. That's the best spot. Who says that? Your dad. Right?
Yeah, I used to try to get my dad to go to Yankee games with him. He's like, nope. He says I can get up and piss when I want, get something to eat when I want, do whatever, come and go, whatever. Now you can pause it and go, and it's not. But
when you got a bunch of 25-year-olders, they want to be there. We're in a sense retired from that.
So
we're retired from that.
I want to bring it into perspective. I spent less than that for a week at Panama City Beach.
Right.
For the condo.
Yeah.
You spent a little bit more than that to go overseas.
Yeah.
However, what you got from your trip overseas.
Oh, and plus I was there for 8 days.
Was a whole lot better than 1 day.
He got a lot of stories.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that when you're
you got to put that in perspective. Yeah, you're saying one game for 3 hours, and then remember, we're excited about driving into it. We're hating it driving back from it.
Yeah.
Especially when we're here in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and we're going to New Orleans. You're saying, all right, us three go to the game. We're hiking up. Then we're saying we got to get out of this parking lot. That's an hour. And the ride home sucks.
Remember how long it took us to get out of the parking garage for the Kiss concert?
Yes.
Mav and I sat out there waiting for our ride for almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that long.
Yeah.
Took us that long to get down there?
Yeah.
To get out. Not
we
down
kept
there.
pacing back and forth to see if we could get a better spot for you to pick us up there. That sucked.
We just couldn't get, we couldn't get.
So you know that? And that, you're saying.
I think.
Yes, she was.
Even though we had a great time, Marilee was like, we were waiting for her to pick us up. And we were like, this blows waiting here.
It took us, we went to the Sugar Land and Little Big Town concert the other night. We got in our car, and it took us 35 minutes just to get out of the parking lot.
I mean, I'm enjoying it.
And then when we got out of the parking lot, I made the right on Boulevard, and I'm going down to 90. I'm in the left-hand turn lane to turn left, right?
And you got jammed up.
I get down there, and the cop goes,
make a
go
right.
I'm like, what? I'm in the fucking left turn lane. What do you make me? So I had to go all the way down about a mile.
You know what?
Around.
They're as we're talking about the system for the Coliseum in Biloxi.
It sucks.
Their system sucks. They don't have the right men or women on the job to do it correctly.
Well, they got
you jammed up.
They got 2 points of egress.
Yeah.
Oh, they got 3 now.
They're gonna have three that takes you all the way to Pops Ferry, all the way to North Biloxi.
If they ever get that road done.
And you know what? That sucks too. Going to an event there, you're saying excitement. Like I said, excitement going, blows coming out.
Oh, it was a great. It was a good. Now they're going cashless too. They've gone the cashless thing. You got to scan whatever. Then they even have self-serve drink and food centers.
Self-serve?
Dude, it was standing there. I looked at David. I looked at the guy. I said, "What the fuck is this? Circle K?" Just like that. Put your shit on the thing. It scans it, tells you how much you owe, and you go. And they got 2 guys standing there to make sure you don't steal any food.
Yeah,
but the price hasn't changed.
Oh, dude,
they're monitoring what you're doing.
The price hasn't changed.
For a Diet Coke, a hot dog, and little thing, like half of this full of what they consider homemade chips, whatever, with a quesadilla, 2 halves on there, buffalo chicken.
How much was that?
$28. And I had to get it because I hadn't eaten anything all day. I hadn't eaten since lunch. And
That's what the problem is. You got to eat before you go. So you just grab a soda and maybe, the finger hot dog that you get at the Biloxi Shuckers game. But their hot dogs ain't this big.
So the reason why
Actually,
when you go to
to
the Saints game, the reason why you have to get something to eat there is because you got to leave so early in the morning to battle the traffic.
Yes.
And let's just say it's a noon game.
Yeah.
You're leaving at 6 a.m.
Yeah, because you got
to find parking.
Right, the right kind of parking, and then you're hanging around.
And then if you get the right kind of parking, that's not going to cost you your left testicle.
Yeah, and
you're walking 3 miles.
You don't have to walk. Yeah, exactly. You know what?
There's a walk to the stadium.
You know what? Besides, as we're talking all that makes me feel worse about even going.
You're not.
It sucks.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
You get out of there at a night game or even a day game. We used to park. There was a bar here, a big parking lot, and then the Canal Street exit. And you get right off there, boom, you're on 10. But once you hit 10, it's bumper to bumper till
Still Slidell.
They had a great venue over in Camden, New Jersey. They had a concert place with the lawn and stuff like that you were allowed to. No, matter of fact, they put the chairs out and you just left them. You know what I mean? But at the end of it, which I used to like going to that concert place, is because they had it set up where the streets were blocked off because it's 11 o'clock at night in Camden. There's not a lot going on. And you were able to flow right over the bridge, the Walt Whitman or the Benjamin Franklin Bridge. And that was one of the best venues I remember when you were leaving, where it was no big deal. Because they had it set up. I mean, a line of cops like they were coming out for a funeral or something like that.
Right.
And got you there. But at all the venues I've been to, my memory serves me, it does, that was the best venue to leave was the Camden Concert Hall.
Yeah, his memory serves.
Yeah. All right. We're to the point where we talk about what we're smoking.
Okay.
And what we're drinking. So
yes.
Mav, you got it.
All right. With the coffee, it's excellent. We had it a couple of times, maybe 3. It was a little strong today.
I made it a little too strong.
Barry Bones made it a little too strong, but it was very, very good. I'm giving the coffee an all-time 9. It's just at the top of the charts. The Connecticut, for all the Connecticut's I smoke, and I'm not a real fan of Karen Bergers, but the Connecticut, it was light because I needed a light one today, and smooth. I'm going to give that an 8. I'm going to give this an 8 as a Connecticut goes. It was smooth. It drawled fine. It burned fine. I'm good with it.
Bones?
I'm giving the coffee a 10 because I just like this blend that much. It hasn't disappointed every time we drank it. The cigar, I'm just not a Connecticut guy, but for Connecticut, it's good. I give it 8, 8.5.
Cool. That's a nice thing. You're not a Connecticut.
It's not drawing. A good draw, a little uneven burn. I taste more the quality. It doesn't pair bad, but yeah, I give that a 10, and this is overall 8, 8.5, 9. So maybe
cool.
A 9.
That's a good for Connecticut, and
total.
You're not a Connecticut guy.
No.
Either is Mort.
I'm going to start with a cigar. I don't like it.
Okay.
It's. I'm not saying don't buy it, folks. That's not what I'm saying. I don't like it.
Okay.
It's not your palate.
I don't like Connecticut's.
Right. So
I don't like the mild.
Based on that too.
Right. It's too mild for me. I've already had my Maduro this morning, so
yeah. So that's
a disappointment. However, and I'm going to say just like Corso does, not so fast, my friend.
Yeah.
It's got a great draw.
Yes.
I'm going to say that the draw itself is, to use Bones's word, fantastic.
Yes.
Okay. Other than that, not my favorite. Will I smoke it again on an event like this? Yes, but
in general, no.
In general, no, because
okay,
it's just not my thing.
That. Yeah,
so I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Okay.
Because the draw is amazing.
Absolutely.
The draw is good.
Go ahead, answer it, Bobby.
The coffee itself.
See, we're always working, folks.
Always working. coffee itself, we know I'm not a favorite of boo-boo or flavored coffees, but this coffee, like you,
Yeah, she called
I
yesterday.
say is nearly a perfect. Is nearly a perfect.
Even
blend.
too bitter. It's
With this.
Okay, is this about? Can you tell me?
no. You can talk to him. Just
With this cigar and this coffee, this cigar being as mild as it is,
Okay, well, the best, you know,
takes away the
give us till
bitterness.
11 o'clock and hope you get-
and next time only 4 scoops.
Thank you.
Takes away the bitterness of the coffee.
Sorry, folks.
The coffee bitterness did go away after you start smoking the cigar.
Okay.
The coffee is near perfect. I'm going to give it a 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've probably given it higher before, but that's when it paired well with a cigar. So
A different type of cigar, a
different
little
type of
stronger.
cigar.
well,
Yeah.
That's just the way we make coffee at home. We make it strong all the time.
Well, it's
And
it was strong,
that's
made,
that's
but it was still delicious.
Well,
It was just a little heavy.
Just to make,
Yeah,
but
You
you
know
got
what I
to
mean?
cut the bitterness down by.
It was a
putting
little
a little
heavy,
less
but it's still
coffee.
delicious. It can't go wrong either way.
It's got like a
So the
nutty flavor.
the
to it.
coffee
It's
itself
just-
is, I don't know if this actually has a perfect blend of 2 flavors, chocolate and peanut butter. I don't get the peanut butter, but I definitely get the chocolatey whatever. There's a distinct flavor that you get with this cigar. And folks, if you're ever interested in getting it, it's at fortfinlaycoffee.com.
I can't
That's
describe it.
fortfinlaycoffee.com. It's a Fort Finlay Coffee and Donut Shop in Finlay, Ohio. Our friend Mandy sent that to us. We're down to the last bag of this.
Oh yeah, we need more of that.
Next week we'll try something else different. And folks, apologies from last week. We had a local roaster that was supposed to be here on the show, but thanks to Sparklight and the fantastic internet service that they provide, we weren't able to come on the air because the internet was down for half the morning.
Yes,
Yeah.
they had down and but you know what? Even with it down, it's bad. But at least they sent out multiple texts to say it's going to be up by this certain time, and we're working hard on it. Instead of not notifying you, and you're in a question mark in your head, when's it going to come back on?
Right.
Because the other thing is, it suffers our business here.
Yep.
Because we are not able to operate our register properly and our card machine.
Cash only.
So yeah, it was cash only, and a lot of people, 90% of the people here use cards.
So next week we'll talk about the conversation that we had with our friend the roaster. Nathan was his name. We sat in here while we were supposed to be on the show and talked about the process of roasting coffee and how you go about getting the beans and how much it costs to do that. We'll talk a little bit about that, what we learned from him, and
the less you roast at a time, the more expensive the coffee is going to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's
time.
a local roaster. He doesn't sell to businesses.
Yes.
He sells only to individuals. So we keep that in mind when we actually talk about his website. We'll talk about his in the conversation next week.
Yes.
As well as our first round of college football.
Oh boy.
Playoffs will have already been.
You know what? The excitement is for that. Plus, we get to watch it here on multiple screens.
They will already be over.
Starts tonight.
No,
No,
it starts next
Friday.
Next Friday?
Saturday.
Well, he's got to get. Isn't Notre Dame playing Friday night?
Probably so. Yes.
Yeah.
Either way,
So
it starts next week.
We won't get a chance to talk about who won or anything, but we'll be able to be excited about the games coming up.
Yes.
But we can
that
talk
night,
about who we think's going to win.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
So
we could put our Monday morning quarterbacking into that.
Absolutely.
Next week will probably be a lot more than a half hour, which is okay. It's our Christmas show or end of the year.
It is our Christmas show.
Yeah, President's time.
Yeah, President's time.
So
you have a good weekend too. Great Lake.
It may be a little extended because we got a lot to talk about next week.
Yes.
Coffee, football, and we're going to share our gifts with you.
And in general, what's going on at the shop?
Upcoming inauguration.
Once again, folks, we want to invite you to come down to Coast Cigar and Lounge. Next week, we're going to go ahead and give you a little teaser. Friday and Saturday, we've got a Perdomo event going on here.
Yes.
So we want you to.
Sammy the Bull will be here.
If you're in the area, we want you to come down and enjoy the event. There may be some nice food.
Yes.
There'll certainly be some good fellowship.
And
Yes.
some swag.
Some swag, some fellowship, and also
I could be wrong, but is it not a buy a box? Get
50%
get $100.
We'll be able to.
gift
we'll get-
certificate.
we'll go a
and
little bit
We'll go a
further
little
on
bit
that,
further
yes.
on that next week.
But that's just the
But it's
teaser.
we're going to have some great deals here at the shop.
Absolutely.
We'll find out this morning.
Just
we
in time for Christmas.
have a business meeting.
Yes. All right, folks.
Also, one more
Welcome,
thing.
Wayne.
Go ahead.
One more thing. I would like to thank everybody to have a safe and Merry Christmas. There was a couple of
What would
people
be
at the
worth
shop at the shop
coming
here
here
that
from the
lost
shop.
loved ones.
Oh,
I want you to be able to pray for them at this Christmas time, and pray for their families. And we all here at the shop, my two coasts, want to wish you a Merry Christmas and the Happy New Year. But we're going to talk about that more because it's not exactly the day of Christmas yet. But we just want to pray for those people who lost family members.
And if you're up
During
in New
this time of
Jersey
year.
and New York, watch out for the drones.
Yes.
dude, that's so
Oh no,
much fun.
I don't think they're drones. I think they're what's it called?
Balloons.
No, I think they're flying saucers from another world. I think we're getting invaded by. I mean, remember when he said it on the radio and people were jumping out the windows?
Oh, that was
War of the Worlds.
War of the
Yeah.
Worlds with
Yeah, he did that on the radio and it caused mass havoc.
That was back in the 50s,
It's
too.
people-
Yeah, well, it was when there wasn't TVs. There was
Right,
only radio
people,
programs.
people tuned in the middle of the show and they thought we were actually
Being
getting
invaded. Yes.
That was
Well, anyway, we'll
was-
talk about more of that next week, too. And you guys have a great weekend.
You
From
guys.
Bones, Mort, and myself, Maverick. See you next week for our Christmas show.
See yous.